Today we're making a Tasajo Torta. Come on, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
Tasajo is the process of salt curing and air drying beef, but the Tasajo Torta was made popular by TV personality and cookbook author Pati. Okay, it all starts with the beef. Now, different cuts can be used. I'm using flank steak today, but you could also use skirt steak. The first thing we need to do is we need to slice our flank steak into thin pieces. This flank steak is pretty clean, so there's not a lot of fat or sinew. Whenever you're cutting flank steak or any type of steak really, you want to cut against the grain. And what I mean by the grain is, you see those lines that run through the meat, okay? You want to cut across that grain. And so what I want to do is I just want to cut slices about a ½ inch. And again, we're cutting across that grain. Okay, now we're going to take a piece of parchment paper, and then we're going to take one piece of that flank steak and put it on one half of the parchment paper. We're going to fold the other half over, and then we're going to take a meat tenderizer or a mallet, and we're going to pound that piece of flank steak until it's nice and thin. Oh, beautiful. And then do the same with the rest. Okay, now we're going to take a sheet pan with a wire rack, and we're going to layer our flank steak on that wire rack. Okay, then we're going to take some kosher salt, 1 teaspoon to 1½ teaspoon of salt on each side of those pieces of flank steak. And the reason why we're doing this is so that the meat air dries. So that salt is going to pull the moisture from the meat, and the steak is going to have a drier texture. Flip it over. And then salt the other side. Okay, now we're going to cook our flank steak, our tasajo. I have a grill pan. You can also use a cast iron pan, and it's smoking hot. I'm just going to brush it with some oil. Here we have that flank steak that has been curing for about 3 hours. The moisture has been released, and even the texture and the color has changed. It went from a light red to a kind of a darker red. And we're just going to brush the flank steak and then lay it down on our grill. If you want, you could just add a little bit of cracked black pepper. And this is going to be done really fast. Traditional accompaniments are guacamole and Oaxacan cheese, but I'm also adding some fried onions and roasted poblano peppers. Okay, now we're ready to assemble. I have here what is called a bolillo roll. It is a roll that is traditional for tortas, and we're just going to split it down the middle. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some refried beans and spread that on the bottom. Then we're going to take our tasajo, that flank steak, and we're just going to layer it on our sandwich. Then we're going to take the fried onions and that roasted poblano peppers. Then we're going to take that Oaxacan cheese that we shredded and pile it right on top. Then we're going to take some fresh cilantro And then on the other side of the roll, we're going to add guacamole. And there you have it, Tasajo Torta, Sabroso. If you like this video, click the recipe tab in the video description, which will take you to our recipe page on Provecho, where you'll get a printer-ready format of the recipe that links directly to Instacart, so you can shop for all the ingredients instantly. You can also follow along with the video as you make something sabroso.
Todo queda sabroso.